Right, everybody. 5 things we learned from Manchester United's 3-2 loss to Nottingham Forest. The first thing we learned, United conceded sloppy goals. We conceded 2 corners against Arsenal, a corner yesterday against Nottingham Forest. United seemed to learn from their mistakes. Amorim said in his post-match press conference that United were working on set pieces. Don't think we were doing that at all, because the way we just let him run through, headed the ball in, we had Martinez, who's 5'9", marking a 6'5" defender. It was a very poor goal to concede. Even the other 2 goals that we conceded straight out of Onana just makes a typical blunder, a very poor save. And the third goal is definitely preventable. Cross comes in, don't know where Dalot and Martinez are to prevent the cross coming in. Loops in, Martinez again should get rid of it, and so to Onana, like, absolutely embarrassing. And that ultimately was the tail of it. I think Amorim will be most disappointed, because it was the sloppy things we got wrong. It was just poor mistakes, individual errors cost Manchester United, and that was a real disappointment. I didn't expect to see that from the Manchester United team. You expect a lot more. There are players on 300 grand a week in that team, experienced pros. Like, when you're making simple errors like that, and you just look like a calamity. There were some individual players, which I will talk about, whose performances I thought were absolutely shocking in a game which we needed to win. And I think it was very poor by a lot of the Manchester United team. As I said, the goals were massively preventable. Forest didn't really oppose a threat in most of the games. It was just the goals were just lucky. The cross comes in, Onana should get rid of it. I think Yoro should actually do better, but there were so many chances where United could have prevented it. Bruno plays a simple 5-yard pass to Yoro, which is miles behind him. Yoro's trajectory is running forward with the ball with him. Ball goes straight behind him. Like, these simple things, Amorim can't coach them. This loss is not on Ruben Amorim, it's on the players ultimately. So that's the first thing we learned. Number 2, Dalot was shocking. Dalot's performances last season for Manchester United were to a top standard. He was consistent. He played a lot of games and was absolutely fantastic. I don't know if it's fatigue catching up with him or there's other external factors. I know he isn't a left wing back, but he should be able to do a decent job. 0 out of 9 accurate crosses from your left wing back is really poor. Defensively, where was he on the goals? Didn't pose a threat forward, and I think the last couple of games he's been shocking. Maybe listen, we have Man City next weekend. I'll be looking at putting Mazraoui on that side. Yes, Man City, they drew to Crystal Palace, but they're still a very tough opponent, and I thought Dalot against Forest didn't have anything. I mean, the shots from 40 yards going into Rose Ed. It was those little things again which I talked about earlier, decision making, something that Amorim cannot coach, and I thought Dalot was probably one of the worst players on the pitch. From the Dalot that we've seen last season, it was nowhere near good enough. And that is the huge worry which I would oppose with Diego Dalot. We're not seeing the standards that we used to seeing with him, and that should be a huge worry, because Dalot's a player I like a lot. He's a very good player, being a very consistent player, but when you're doing those simple things wrong, it is a huge worry. And we're not putting crosses into the box. He's making silly decisions out of position for the goals. Dalot seriously has to be looked at as one of those players who did have a really bad performance. Now, the third thing we learned, Onana makes a terrible mistake, but I don't know why people are criticising, like, he's getting racial abuse on Twitter. That should never happen. And his Instagram comments, that should never happen. Onana has been one of our best players this season. Single-handed, he kept us into games. You look at Liam Delap, save he made in Amorim's first game. Single-handedly kept us into the game. He's made very good saves. Yes, he made a mistake. Is a simple mistake. It's a mistake he shouldn't be making as a goalkeeper. But mistakes do happen. They're part of life. They're part of the game. And Onana is a strong mentality player. I think he will overcome this. But the fact that fans are abusing him for making that simple error. Yes, we lost the game, but I thought Onana's overall performance wasn't great, but so was so many players in the team. And I think Onana, yes, he probably did get scapegoated, but he did make a simple error. And yes, you can criticise him, but abuse should never happen. I thought his distribution was really poor as well. As I said, the shot is not taking a deflection, he's just moving the other way. But as Amorim said, Onana, and I just said that Onana has saved us so many times this season. He's been absolutely fantastic for Manchester United. I think he has, the second or first most clean sheets. Like, he's been absolutely quality for Manchester United. And I think we've been too overreactionary with the mistake he did make. Yes, it was a simple error. Yes, it was a blunder. Onana was really poor, and I think he will get criticised, but we will move on from this. Now, the fourth thing we learned, Bruno sloppy. I think Bruno was very sloppy in yesterday's game. I think he was one of the players which I looked at, is he just doing the simple things wrong. 5-yard pass into Yoro. Yes, he scored a goal, but some of his decision making, some of his quality in the final third was absolutely disgraceful, and something that I haven't seen from Bruno Fernandes in a while at Manchester United. The simple decisions, the things that you expect any player to do, like 10-year-old can probably do a simple 5-yard pass, decision making, and over and in midfield. I like Bruno. I think he's a very good player and has been very important for Ruben Amorim, but you need to see that change. I think he looks more disciplined under 6 in that number, in the deeper role, but in the number 10, decision making, wasteful is absolutely shocking. And you look at when we play Man City next week, they will absolutely feast on that if we're sloppy and we're giving the balls away. Almost scored a free kick, which would have been a belt of a free kick, but Bruno, for me, I expect a lot more from him, a captain's performance, and Amorim had to take him off. Bruno's a player who doesn't really come off. He plays most of the games, plays large parts of the games, but Amorim couldn't take him off. Amorim couldn't afford to take him off because, well, Amorim had to take him off because he wasn't having the greatest performance. So that's that on Bruno. Now the fifth and final thing we learned, Ugarte. I think Ugarte is slowly increasing his performance quality game by game. I thought yesterday was absolutely quality on the ball, off the ball as well. Very, very good. Just his press, his energy is absolutely fantastic. A quality pass to Garnacho, which he should have scored. I'm giving him the assist for that, even though Garnacho got it. His performance was absolutely fantastic. And we've seen him just develop and grow. He knows exactly what to do in that Ruben Amorim formation. And we've seen that fully develop and grow. A quality player and someone who I do really like a lot at Manchester United. Someone who's very underappreciated, and we slowly see him come out of the shell. He's adapting, and he's getting involved in the final third. His tenacity and energy has always been there. And as I said, he's someone who gets the Ruben Amorim way of playing. So really, really like him. They're the 5 things we learned. Sorry, it's a bit of a short one, but I think it's better to kind of keep it compact. But they are the 5 key things we learned. I thought overall it was a poor result. This is on the players, not Amorim. I thought Dalot, Onana didn't have the greatest games. I thought Ugarte was a real positive. Ahmad, which I didn't talk about, he was good as well. But let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching. Peace.